Well, hello guys, it's Anuneet again, and today I am going to tell you how to create a simple SQL database using Python and SQL connectivity. Also, I am going to tell you how to insert data in the tables and how to update the existing data. So, first of all, to do that, I have to write this simple command to join Python and MySQL database. So the command is import mysql.connector, and I am giving it an alias which I can say a pet name, as writing mysql.connector over and over again is so much troublesome. I will give it name sqlc. So now I will create an object for this command. X is equal to up sqlc dot connect host user and password, the same command which I wrote in the previous video to check the connectivity of the Python and SQL database. So I am going to write it down. So it is the same command as I wrote in the previous video. The host will be localhost, the user will be root or whatever name you have defined, and password will be your password you have defined during the setup installation. So now I will go into check whether it is connected or not. So I am writing a simple command: if x dot is connected equal false, then print an error message. So this command will show or display a error message on the shell if there is a problem in connection. If there is no problem, then there will be no error message. So this is a general if else condition, and this is error connecting to database is a normal error connecting, or you can say error message. Now I will write a simple command: c is equal to x dot cursor. Initialize. This will create a cursor whose pointer is c, and this pointer will point throughout the database X, which is used for connection. Now first of all, I am going to check which tables or databases are pre-existing in this MySQL. So for that I am going to write c dot execute, and in this execute I will write the normal SQL commands. So the normal SQL commands are those commands which are commonly used in SQL database, like create, select, from, where. Wait a minute, I am going to show you the whole chart, because you must have the knowledge of simple or basic SQL commands before creating a Python and SQL connectivity program. So these are some commands like alter table, and, as, between, case, count, group by, having, inner join, round, outer join, select distinct, and many more. As you can see, these are the syntax. Syntax means the way how you write these commands, and these are the descriptions that what these commands are do. Like alter table, so you have to write alter table and table name, add column name and data type. This command will be used to add columns in a table in a database. Similarly, like this insert command, you have to write insert into table name, and this command's description is it is used to add new rows to create, or to create, not to create, but basically inside a pre-created table. Now back to business. I am going to write show databases. And one more thing, in SQL command line shell, if you write such commands, you have to write a semicolon after them. But here you don't need to write this semicolon, because these commands are already executed through this attribute, and the commands are given in the string format in this Python shell or Python script mode. Now I will create another variable d, which will fetch all the data from the cursor. C dot fetch fetch all. So there are three types of fetch functions: fetch one, fetch all, and fetch many. Fetch one fetches data only of only one record. Fetch all fetches all the data, and fetch many, you have to specify how many records you want to fetch. So here I want to fetch all the data regarding show databases, so I will write c dot fetch all, and then for I in. So this is a simple program which will show us how many databases are there in the pre-existing SQL database. Now I'm going to run this module. Okay, save it. So I'm going to write a name SQL2 and then run it. Okay, as you can see, I have already written an error message. So if there would be an error, then there would have been an error message, but since there is no error, that means no error connection in the connection has been occurred. The successful connection has been established, and then that cursor and that fetch all data function has led to this window, which means all the tuple formed data you are now seeing, like information schema, MySQL, performance schema, Sakila, sys, and word. These are all the pre-existing databases in the SQL system. Now I am going to create my own database. So for that, I am going to write another execute statement, and in this statement I will write a simple SQL command, create database and the database name. So I have given the name test to my new database. Now I am going to run this, and now as you can see, a new database test has been created. Now before moving on, here is one more thing. Most of you have seen there are 4 parameters in this connect statement: host, user, password, and the fourth one is database. That database is optional, as it is only used when there is a pre-existing database already or a database freshly created. Like I have created the database test, so if I want to create tables, I can't create by simply writing another c.execute and create tables and the name of the table. It will lead to an error, because here, since no database has been mentioned in this line, it will generalize the statements, like it will generally see all the pre-existing databases. And if you write create table statement here, c.execute create table, then it will lead to an error, because tables are created inside the database, and since there is no database specified, there will be no table created. So now to create a table inside this database test, you have to reconnect it. This statement will now do nothing, so I am going to just comment out all of them and rewrite the statement. So I've written the statement over again. As you can see here, the fourth parameter database has been specified as test. So now if you create any table, it won't lead to an error, first of all. And second, you can also do this by writing these either in the new file of Python by using the command Control N, and then there will be a new blank script mode file, and then you can write this document there, or you can just comment out here just like I have done, or simply you can just comment out these and specify the fourth parameter database here and write the database name you have created. But now you have to comment out this one if you do that technique. So that would be a little bit confusing and the error chances are higher. So just do it like this. This is a simple method. Simple method in the sense you can check your mistakes from this format. If you have done something in there, then you can check your mistakes as you have already written this statement there. Now again the c.execute command, c dot, and now since I have to create tables, instead of writing create database, I will write create table and the name of the table. But now here is a little bit of twist. If you simply write create table student, you can just create a normal table, but there will be no rows specified in that table. And since you have also wanted to add the rows, then you have to specify them by initializing it with a bracket, just like you do in the SQL, and writing the name of the row first and then the data type you want to select in that data field. Like student, I have created a table student, then I would like the first row to be its roll number, roll. Then I will just give a little bit of space, little bit of what, I will just give a one space, and then specify its data type like car. If you want the roll number to be in string, and if you not, then just write integer. Then give a comma and write the next parameter you wanna create, that means the next row you wanna create, which would be the name. Again specify its data type car and specify the length, like 40 would be more than enough, and then again comma and then marks, again integer. Now close the bracket, close the string, and then again close the main bracket. Now this command will create a table with rows, roll, name and marks, and the data types of them are integer, car 40 and integer. These are data types. You must have the knowledge of data types if you are using SQL There are many types of data types like char, var, integer, blob, tiny text, tiny int, and many more. Here we only use these ones. Now to check if these rows have been created, you should simply write c dot execute, and there is a command describe, or you can write desc, and then the name of the table you want to describe. Like I would write student, and then the same e is equal to fetch all for I in range, not range, sorry, e, and then print I. So if the rows have been created, then this would display the rows, their data value, and the other two basic or pre-described rows that come along the describe command. Those columns are the field, the data type, the null value, and the default value what have been provided to the blank field. So I will just run this, and then so guys, that was a little error. I have actually pressed a key, that why the error rose. Now as you can see, there is no error. That was a little bit of mistake. I have just entered the wrong bracket and let it go in the next line. So now as you can see, the rows roll, comma name, comma marks have been created with integer data type, for char, that is character data type of length 40, and integer data type. Their null value is yes, that means there is no value, and the none value shows the same, that there is no value inside the records present at the time. Now here's the twist. If you want to insert data, now you have to comment this line out, or you have to perform any operation on this table student. You have to comment this line out. Why? Because this table has been created in the earlier command when I ran the previous time, but now if I just like write insert or whatever be the command is, and don't comment out this line, then it will lead to an error. Why? Because there would already be presented a table named student. So now after commenting it out, I am just going to write a simple command to insert data. Now just like this bracket you have specified the rows, you again have to specify the row, like, but now this time you don't have to write integer char and the integer again, you just have to mention their name. And now to give values, you have to write values and then again start a bracket, and then write the command in the form of an formatted string. You must be familiar with formatted string. If not, there is no need to worry. It's not something a rocket science or anything else. It's just a simple command. The way in is given. Now for that you have to mention curly brackets first of all, and the curly brackets should be the total in the number of rows you have mentioned. That means if there are 3 rows you have mentioned, then there would be 3 curly brackets, and if the integer type of that row is integer or float or decimal or negative, that means if it is an integer, then you just have to write a simple curly bracket. And if the row is a string or car type, or varchar or tiny text or text, which means if it is in string, then you have to, like, name includes a name, and the name should be a string, then the curly bracket should also be in string. So you have to write like this: the integer types should not have a single quote, and the name type, that means the string type, must have a single quote before these brackets. And also, it is an important fact, you have to write this insert statement in double colon, because if you write it in single colons, then this one, which already includes the single colons, will raise an error, as it will form a string from ending here, from starting a single colon here and ending it here, and then again starting the single colon here and then ending here. Like, if you give this one and this one a single colon, then the string must be considered this one and this one, and these brackets are out of string, so you must use the double quotes. Now write format and then write the values. Again you have to follow the same rule. For the integer ones you don't have to add a colon, or you can say a apostrophe or quotes, and for a string you have to mention them. Like, if the roll number is 1, then I'll give a comma, then for the name I will use the string. Now if you like directly run this module, it will again raise an error. Why? Because as per the syntax of Python SQL connectivity, you have to commit this insertion command. That is, you have to write a command my.commit, and now your program is completed. This program will insert a value you have given here in the rows roll number, name and marks. Oh, actually it's roll, I've written roll number, roll, name, marks, and the values will be given here. These are all already formatted using this function. There are two ways to give values to in this execute command for this insert command. One way is format way, this is the new way, and the another one is the old style % way. You must have heard of it, and if not, there is no need to worry, this one is the easy way. You don't have to basically use that one. Now I am going to run the command to check whether it is right or not. And yeah, one more thing, as you have written this command my.commit, it will end this statement right here, and the cursor position will be, that is the C of the pointer C will be just fixed or will not work after this command. It is same just like the return statement in definitions. Like if you write anything after return, it won't work. So you have to again initialize it by writing, and now running it. I hope there would be no error. Okay, so there is an invalid syntax. Oh yeah, I have not completed this bracket. Now I'm going to run it. Oh, the error was because I haven't selected anything. C dot execute. Sorry guys for the error. And now I have to select everything from the table. As I haven't selected anything, that's why fetch all raise an error, as there was nothing to fetch. So now I'm going to run it, and you know, since the error occurred here because of the syntax error, or you can say I haven't given this command properly, and since this command is right, thus I have written it 3 times wrong. That error had come 3 times, then there would be 4 records. So as you can see, there are 4 records, as the error had come 4 times. That's why actually the error had come 3 times. The 4th record is now created, this one. So here comes the concept of deletion. If you wanna delete the record, then you can just write delete star from students. This will delete all the records from student table. Now if I run it, then there would be again an error, as there would be nothing to fetch again. So I will just copy paste this command after this command. To check whether this delete works or not. And now I'm going to run the program. Actually, you don't have to mention star here. It will automatically clear all the logs. So I'm going to run it. But first of all, let me check the code. Again the same mistake, there is no select statement. So guys, select statement is very much important. I have to write it again. C dot execute. So guys, I hope there would be no error this time. There must be only one record, and then you go. There is only one record here. Okay, so our demo for insertion as well as deletion has been completed. Thank you.